Yesterday on the radio, heard a story about how having heroes can help you get through tough and difficult times. I wrote about that in 1996 in my first book, Hard Won Wisdom, that was published by Paladin Press. In one of the chapters, I wrote about Tarzan being an early hero of mine when I was a kid and how thinking about Tarzan could help me get through tough and difficult times. It hasn't changed. So, who are your heroes? How have they helped you? Think about that for a second. Welcome to Coffee with Alain. I appreciate you being here. I have my Tarzan mug. Actually, it's an Edgar Rice Burroughs mug. Most of those books along the coffee mug are books by Edgar Rice Burroughs, Tarzan, and some of the others. 3 of the books happen to be Howard's Conan. I was a fan of Conan too. So all of these books on this cup, I read when I was younger and thought it would be an appropriate cup to talk about heroes and talk about Tarzan and Edgar Rice Burroughs a little bit. Going to say good morning to Kellen from Ohio. Appreciate you being here. Good morning, Jay. Always like it when you're here to say good morning. Appreciate it very much. So heroes, and please put your heroes in the comments. Heroes could be real life figures. Maybe it was a relative or a friend that defeated cancer or did something really difficult, and you look up to that person as a hero to help you through tough times. Or it can be a fictional character. It could be a superhero. It could be Tarzan like me when I was a kid. Who are your heroes and how have they helped you? When I was very young, it was probably 2nd or 3rd grade elementary school, I had read all the Hardy Boys books, the Alfred Hitchcock and the Three Investigators books, and was running out of things to read because I was a voracious reader when I was a kid as well. And a teacher gave me Tarzan of the Apes, the first Tarzan novel, and I loved it. And a little bit later, I found out there were more. And then I devoured all of the Tarzan books. And then I started reading other Edgar Rice Burroughs stories, such as John Carter and the Mars series and Center of the Earth. Loved them all, but Tarzan was still my favorite. Now, Kellen likes Stephen Hawking and Eric Bam. All right. Remember, put your heroes, put people and how they've helped you in the comments. So Tarzan was an early hero of mine, reading the books. And then I liked the TV shows and I've liked the movies, the real old movies to the newer movies. But the books especially were what I really devoured. And back then in the 70s, I was listening to Uriah Heep when I was reading. And so now I can't pick up anything that's Tarzan and not think of Uriah Heep. And I can't listen to Uriah Heep without thinking about Tarzan. They are just permanently connected in my mind from back in the 70s when I was young. But fast forward a little bit, doing some difficult things, maybe in high school athletics, maybe it was in the army doing different things. It was a fight or two or a brawl here or there. Thinking of Tarzan and the situations he was in and how he got through them with that determination, grit, fortitude. That helped me find that within myself to get through difficult times as well. Dixon says the Destroyer series for me. I read all of the Remo Williams, and I was into Executioner Mac Bolan too. I liked Destroyer Remo better than Mac Bolan, but I really enjoyed those. I mean, Remo and Chin, Korean Art of Sin and Jew, probably part of what influenced me wanting me to go to Korea and live and train in Korea, even though I chose Hapkido, a real martial art that Bong Soo-han influenced me with Billy Jack. Definitely the Destroyer series influenced me with wanting to know more and learn more about Korea. So that was an awesome one. Jay says Mark Twain on his early life. What a fantastic author. I've enjoyed Mark Twain's writing as well. So, great choices. Destroyer, Mark Twain, Stephen Hawking, all great choices. Even Eric Bam that Kellen mentioned. But Tarzan helped me through some tough times, thinking about that character. So all of us need to have heroes and people, whether they're real or fictional, that can help us through difficult times, especially survival type situations, self-defense situations, natural disaster situations, things that are extremely difficult that can tax us both physically and mentally. Having a hero to look toward, to emulate, to draw strength from, can see us through those situations, those times, those experiences. They've worked for me. I mean, I wrote about it way back in the 90s with Tarzan. And on the radio yesterday, they were talking about how it was important to have something like that in your life to help you through difficult times. And that's why heroes are important. Danny says, the only Tarzan I know is Disney cartoon Tarzan. I love the Disney cartoon Tarzan. When I go to Disneyland or Disney World, I go up in the treehouse. It used to be Swiss Family Robinson, which I liked as a kid too. Now they've changed it to a Tarzan theme. I go up in that treehouse and enjoy Tarzan memories. But the Edgar Rice Burroughs books, definitely as a kid. And I will probably read those again one of these days. I've been meaning to maybe start reading the Tarzan again because it's a long time since I read them. And I have all the paperback versions, but I actually have a collection of the old, 1920s, 30s hardcover editions of Tarzan 2 in my book collection. I was able to get those one year way back it was back in like 92 when I was in California. I was able to get a whole collection of the hardcover books. And so I do have those as well. Probably won't read those. I'll read the paperback, and I keep those sort of in the one bookshelf up in the living room. Not sure what they're worth. They might be worth a little, they might be worth a lot, but they're special to me because they are the original hardcover, and I was such a Tarzan fan. Jay said big time. Dixon says Burroughs was a phenomenal author. He was. I mean, he took so many people to different lands and different worlds and created, these heroes that have lasted through decades and decades and decades, in movies, cartoons, comic books, television series. So he definitely created some characters that resonated with people all over the world. Steven says, we all need heroes. As a young youth, Underdog cartoon was mine. I remember watching those too. That was a great cartoon. We all need heroes. So if you don't have heroes, think about it. You probably do. It could be a real person, could be a fictional person, but who gives you strength? Who do you admire, respect, and that you can draw on for strength in those tough times? I have real life heroes too, but I have the fictional heroes, and we all will have a combination of them. And sometimes we draw a little bit from this hero, a little bit from this hero, and a little bit more from that hero. And that's what's wonderful about heroes, that you can pick and choose the heroes that will help you and what parts of those heroes can help you. And that's why I do like that today, people say, well, it's all PC and this and that, but we're getting more heroes. Black Panther, Wonder Woman. We're getting these mega movies that are showing different people as heroes. And that allows everyone to find a hero that they can connect with, that can help them. And I really think that's wonderful that we're getting so many different types of heroes, that people can connect with somebody that connects with them. And I think that's very important. Jay says H.G. Wells, another phenomenal author. What an imagination. Some of the things he wrote about, became true way after his death. Submarine, space travel, and so forth. Kellen also likes Underdog. She loved Underdog too. Yeah, Underdog was a great cartoon. It was. But that's just a little bit I wanted to talk about today. Thought it was appropriate hearing that on the radio yesterday and thinking, I wrote about that in Hard Won Wisdom. If you don't have Hard Won Wisdom and you want a book on self-defense, it's available on Amazon. It's the newer, updated version than the original Paladin Press edition from 1996, but it's available and it has lessons on safety and self-defense. It was my first book on self-defense. Scott Hamilton is your wife's hero. Awesome. Scott Hamilton, a phenomenal athlete in person. You know, I had a chance to meet him a few years back and have him sign his book. It was the 8 something. I forget exactly the name of the title. Great book with some life lessons. And it was really cool to meet him, get a picture with him, have him sign that book for me. Fantastic individual, a phenomenal athlete, and then overcoming the cancer like he did. That's a great hero to have. So your wife picked a good one, Jay. Big brother sister program, so important for youth who don't have extended family. Very true, Dixon. And everybody that is a big brother, a big sister, and helps those youth should be commended, because sometimes some of those kids, you know, they come from really bad situations and they need some help. And without the big brothers and sisters, who knows where they would go. But having that positive influence in their lives has helped a lot of people. So thanks for bringing up that program, because it is a good one. The Great 8, that's Scott Hamilton's book. Really great book, and I'm proud to have a signed copy and have had a chance to meet him because it was pretty good. Kellen says, I love being a big sister. Awesome, Kellen. Kellen, it's because we know each other now for a few years. Can't get a better positive role model than the stuff you're doing to help a little sister. So that's awesome. Heroes are important. Helping others is important. If we can help others, if we can help others by something that we've done or sharing a hero of ours with others to help them, you know, that's great. And the Equalizer dude. Yes. That's a good one, Stephen. And I'll tell you a great hero for a lot of people right now, John Wick. And the new John Wick starts today, opening in theaters, John Wick 4. And I am going to go see it. I've seen all 3 John Wicks in the theater, and I'm going to see the 4th one in the theater. Probably talk about it later this weekend on Coffee with Alain. With that, I am going to sign off. I appreciate everybody commenting. People that watch it on a replay, I hope you guys comment too, because I always go back and try to check comments and reply to comments. Share the videos, share the podcast. If you haven't listened to the podcast, the audios are available at Enjoy Life Safely, and there are links to Apple and Spotify where you can listen to them as well. Thank you, everybody, for your contributions and joining me this morning. Have a fantastic Friday. If you're going to see John Wick this weekend, I look forward to hearing what you think about it. I'll probably be talking about it Sunday or Monday. Give a bunch of people a chance to see it before we talk about it. And I won't give spoilers, but I like to hear people's thoughts on it. So until then, take care, stay safe. We'll see you tomorrow.